Yep.
Man, it's the best intro. It's the best bumper music in the industry.
Hell yeah.
Hey, everybody, Orange Podcast, bad episode. 94. Only 6 more until
Good
the
Lord,
big
we're
one.
looking to
We'll
100,
make
man.
up some big AI art and send it out, and nobody will look at it, and we'll congratulate ourselves, and we'll have a grand old time on the 100th episode, and we don't give a damn. But well, once we get there, it'll be a big deal to us. But
That's
hey,
right.
so
Yep.
I haven't had a chance to talk to Paul for a week. I'm sure you guys think we're just gonna rip it up on all the news that Paul and I haven't had to talk about. And in fact, we're going to disappoint you and bring you something even much more special. So Paul was at a trade show this week. What was the trade show called, Paul?
It was called the AUSA. That's the Association of the U.S. Army Exposition and Trade Show. It's the largest one in the world, and it happens once a year at the same time in October. And it's where all of the manufacturers, there's some services, but the manufacturers are the ones that set up these multi-million dollar displays in a 350,000 square foot, 3-floor conference center called the Walter E. Washington Conference Center in downtown Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And there's over probably 200,000 attendees every year. And if so, today, to give you an example, the Marriott Marquis is attached to the convention center. And I said, I think we need to go ahead and book our tickets for next year. They were already at $950 a night per room.
Wow.
So for this one, and we did it 6 months in advance, Sean. My colleague Scott and I booked at the Hilton Washington, which is a nice property up on Connecticut Avenue, up by Capitol Hill and stuff. And it was $275 a night with a $16.87 Uber ride either way down to the convention center. So we were still less than $300 a night.
Sure.
And that's how we operate. I mean, the reason I get my expense report approved, no problem, is because I take those steps and don't go, no, I've got to be at the extension center.
Well, we could talk plenty about how that's the right thing to do. But I kind of want to get into the. Where do you want to start? I can go ahead and bring up the video. Our faces will still be on the screen in the bottom left. Or do you want to get into where's the military headed now under Hegseth?
Yeah. So I'd like to start with that if you don't mind before
Yes,
we do
please.
the video. So Driscoll, who is Hegseth's number 2, gave the opening comments at the opening ceremony for this event. So he's Secretary of the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And Hegseth relies a lot on him. Smart guy. He's somewhere between your age and my age. Harvard Kennedy School, Wharton School of Business, and a retired 06 colonel from the Air Force. You know what I mean? Just a classic overachiever.
Absolutely.
And what was so funny is, to me, sitting in the back, right? Because we're a small business. It goes in. You know how that works, right?
Oh, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
All the 4 stars are in the front, and then
The heavy hitters, the
Raytheon,
guys with the
BAE,
big
Lockheed
wallets.
Martin, all those guys are, you know, and they're like this. And Driscoll said, literally, you some bitches have been taking advantage of the U.S. government for 40 years. That stops today. It
Whoa!
stops today. We are no longer having 1 year procurement timelines where it takes our people 8 or 9 months to review your proposal and give you a decision. We're going to 6 week cycle. That's what it's going to be. You're going to submit, and then 6 weeks later, you will know. And you fat dogs, I'm telling you right now, the day of reckoning is here. So I'm not going down that road. We're not talking about it today. I'm just telling you the days of, and this is an exact quote, Sean. He goes, the days of you fucking the U.S. government are done. And
Thank
all the
God.
small businesses in the back went, ah!
Right. And everybody who is, we've explained this, and we could do a whole show on government procurement cycles. We're not going to do that here.
No, no, no.
We've
It's
done
too in
many.
depth. Yeah, but I would
We've
like to
done
do a
many in the
show on it,
past, but
Sean.
going from a 9-month procurement cycle on a project
Yeah,
to 6 weeks
yeah,
changes the game for the government because all of a sudden the contractor has to become
right.
immediately readily available and competitive.
And so what the other thing that he said was, you larges complain about all of this work coming out, small business, service disabled, woman owned, minority owned. You
Mhm.
complain about that kind of stuff, but you have to understand the reason we're doing it is because those guys are more agile, they have less bureaucracy, and they can make a decision sooner. Now, if they want to bring you on as a teammate, mind you, a minority teammate where the
Right.
small business will still prime and you're filling some of the uh,
Heavy technical duties.
deliverables, that the small business doesn't do, we're happy with that. But you guys are not going to control the narrative from now on. You're not going to do it. We're not going to tolerate it.
That's incredible, and I hope that
I was
other,
teary eyed, dude.
well, I hope that other secretaries, department secretaries, not just Sec War, pick up this mantra on government procurement.
Yeah,
And I don't care where it's at, but
yeah,
maybe all of them, whether it's education,
yeah.
transportation,
GSA, all of that
GSA,
stuff. Yeah, DOJ,
GIS.
yeah,
Jesus.
DOT, Department of Energy.
Yep.
For the first time ever in the history of this exhibition, Department of Energy actually had 2 or 3 booths set up. They've never done it before because this has been widely known as a DOD only, kind of thing. But they were there and they were reaching out to small business. That's what they were doing.
Well, because I could already tell you why, and I wasn't even at the conference. It's because we're looking at producing massive amounts of energy very quickly. We're done with the 10 and 20-year life
Right.
cycle of building out a project. So
Yeah.
this is going to open up stuff to all kinds of things. This will get like even companies like yours will all of a sudden have a potential DOT projects
Yeah.
you can do quickly, you can do profitably,
Right.
and go, oh, you're just watching the board of bids,
Yeah.
and you go, wait a minute,
Yeah.
holy shit, we do that. I'm going to take the 5 minutes it takes to go ahead and download this,
Exactly right. Yeah.
run it through my system, and see. Oh, we could make a profitable bid on this.
Right. That's exactly
It
right.
just open the market up instead of because it
Open the
doesn't matter
market up
what
and make it
sector of government
available for people to actually bid.
and it doesn't matter what sector of government you were previously in, there was also always just 4 or 5 big dogs that dominated that one sector,
Yeah,
and you were just chomping at the bit to be a subcontractor.
right. Yeah, so, um, Scott and I had signed up for a small business, review with the US government,
Sure.
right? It was a 2-hour meeting. We walked 13 miles to get to it, still in the air conditioning. It's the biggest place you've ever seen.
Yep.
And we got there, and I swear to God, there was a sign on the door that said canceled, and the conference room was empty.
Wow.
That's how far reaching this shutdown is with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and those assholes.
Wow.
Yep.
The SBE literally just said, "We're closed."
Yeah. There was 40 people. We all got there at the same time. You know what I mean? It's at 9 o'clock, so you get there at 8:45 and you're late,
Yep.
you know. And Scott was like, "Come on, we need to hustle up, man. We're not gonna find a seat."
Well, and you used to
And we
like,
get there at 8:45 and
if
there's
you got there at 8:30, they usually had Bruegger's Bagels for you, they usually had
yeah,
coffee for you.
yeah, yeah.
And that
So
all ran out pretty quickly, so it was depending on how hungry your ass was, is how
right,
fast you got to these early morning
right. And
sessions.
so uh that's funny that you bring that up because Einstein Bagels
Yep.
is huge in DC. They're like the most popular bagel spot, and they had a full. It's not a food truck, but it was a food, you know,
Yeah, it was catered.
buffet set up outside of that. And the looks, Sean, on those young people's faces, they're like, nobody's coming and buying anything.
I bet I
Yeah,
bet because they're so used to getting first either
yeah.
sold
So
out
it's like usually
immediately,
4 line,
or a government agency
right?
would have bought the spread, and
Yeah,
they would bring enough
or
to
it would
cover
have
the
been
bill.
sponsored by Lockheed or sponsored by
Yes.
Raytheon, and
Yeah,
it would have had everything covered.
and if they're getting rid of that shit and
Yeah.
making everybody buy their own lunch and breakfast, and
Oh yeah.
that's like, you and I have been laughing about that shit for years as a
Yep.
known perk in the industry,
Sure.
and it sounds like Hegseth is like, "Fuck that perk.
Yep. We're
We're
not
cutting
doing
all
that
this shit
shit
out.
anymore,
We're cutting it
boys.
all out."
Yeah, we're
And if
not doing
Lockheed
that
can
shit
afford to
anymore.
pay
Yep.
that, then they're gonna pay it, but then Lockheed's gonna eat it in their contract.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, you
Ah,
want to see research and development? Here you go. You need to take care of Einstein's, boy.
well, those of us who've all worked in these industries, and my industry was transportation, not war. We've all seen this and we all laughed at it and we knew about it. And of course, we'd show up early if we wanted bagels and coffee because
Sure.
that's what the program
That
was.
was the
We all
program.
saw the
That's
bloat,
right.
we all
Yeah.
saw the fraud, we all saw the waste, and there
Yep.
was nothing us as the little guys could
Right.
do about it.
And the other part of that is there's usually, two or three BD sales guys.
Yep.
They're hanging out by the Einstein thing going, "Hey, pal, how's it going? What brings you here today?"
Oh, hey, wait. I recognize you. You're from
Yeah.
such and such
Yep.
company, or you're from such and such agency.
Yep.
Right? I know because they studied the pictures
Yeah.
to know the faces, like,
To
when I
know
would
the
show up,
faces, to know what's
because
going
I
on.
had
And
the
they're like,
government
"Hey,
checkbook.
bro, aren't you the guys that,
You're that
that
guy, right?
yeah, you're the guys that put together those electric buses?"
You're the guy in
Right.
charge of buying electric buses for a
Yeah.
city, right? Like, that
Yeah.
was you, right? Yeah. "Hey, do you want hey, listen, come on. We're having a pool party right now," to be like, "Dude, it's 9 in the morning." and someone else would come on and be like, "I could get you $19 coffees. Do you wanna come talk to me?" And I'd be
Yep.
like, I I already had coffee." They
Yeah.
but I'm unique in that industry, being on the guy with the checkbook side. But I watched it, and I watched all my friends, and I
Yeah.
watched them go, "Hell yes!"
Yep.
And there was a time I totally took advantage of something. I was in Tampa Bay, and it was a night boat cruise. I had no idea how much this night boat cruise actually cost per person, because our thing at our agency was very low. It was $25 per day of acceptable gift, but it had no price tag on it. So I went out with a contract. I know. Well, they're all different. Some are much higher than
Yeah.
ours was low. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go see what and like get just unlimited drinks, unlimited food. You're riding around on this giant 4-story tall ocean liner for 2 hours.
Oh,
They
yeah.
basically go into Tampa Bay, into the bay from the
Right.
dock, make
Yeah.
one half turn, and
Yep.
then dock it, and that's two
Yep.
hours. You never made it out to the Gulf, and I saw that, and I was just like, I got up the next day, and I was like, that's retarded, and people fall for it every day
Sure.
and go,
So,
"I'm gonna help them win the contract."
yeah. So I got to tell you, BAE Systems, um, they do the MRAPs and some other stuff with AF General. They had a $500,000 sponsorship at Susan's Speakeasy on K
Mhm.
Street, which is
Oh,
a
of course.
cigar bar and high end. The bourbon is $18 a shot. The cigars are $25 and up. They had a $500,000 sponsorship to Susan's Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Well, that was the normal, and that's where the bloat is, right? Because you have to make that
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Yeah, where do you make that back? Off the taxpayers.
yep.
But hey, hold on, let me hit the right button. Let me
Let's
get
go to the
this thing
video. You wanna?
let's get this thing set up.
All
Yes,
right.
I do. Alright, so let me make sure I can get to the pause. Alright, so I gotta tell you this, we're not even playing the video yet, but the vehicle you see above head, Lockheed Martin, Paul, posted a video on all of social media explaining this vehicle that starts the video. Is that it's actually a VTOL that turns into a plane once it gets up to speed, and its capabilities are unreal, and it's fully autonomous. I'm going to let you start from there, but when you look at it, it looks like a drone. Well, it is a drone. It looks like a plane. It is a plane, but it's a plane that launches vertically and lands vertically. Let me start, and I'll let you take over from there. Let me know when I need to pause so we can get into
Okay.
things.
So on this particular drone, it's a tilt rotor that um, has STCs for weapons capability. It can launch up to not a not a Tomahawk, but a MH-53 rocket that they close hold. If you look in closely, where the fleur is, you can see two of the small rockets that it can do. And when it goes into vertical mode and the rotors tilt upwards, it can fire. So Lockheed developed this. The Air Force has put in an order of X amount for this particular platform, and the Marine Corps is still analyzing it. but we expect them to put in an order as well.
One of the things in the video that I saw that they released, Lockheed Martin being they, was that this thing could be kind of like a Tesla. You can do like supervised operations, or you can go full autonomous on this. You can go robot. And you know, a lot of people are going to freak out about that, but don't, because we've got way more to show you that can go totally fully autonomous robot.
Oh yeah, that and
Select
so I would,
targets and
just as
destroy
a
targets.
precursor, I would say, Sean, the theme of the show was drones and autonomous vehicles.
Robots,
Yeah.
right? And when we talk about, Paul, you and I've talked about robot warfare is where it was going, and we were close. But this show shows you specifically that at least the United States will fight all future wars using robots, not necessarily humans on the ground. And you go, well, then we'll need the soldiers. And I said, no, we still have to deliver the robots to specific places, and we still have to pick up the robots
Yep.
that survive so
Yep.
that we can recharge them,
Yep.
right? So let me move on. I think there's a few photos in the first part, and then we'll get to videos.
Okay.
I can't remember how I put it together. Oh, there's a video.
Yeah. So these are, up armored. That's a Chevy 2500. This is the AM General booth where they, putting out all of their kind of side by sides and stuff that are up armored. This is the next generation VTOL put out by Textron, and it has Rolls Royce engines in it, and it has quiet technology. And I got to tell you, this bad boy is awesome. Awesome. So it
So
could
my
carry a
first,
dozen troops, and they could fast
wow.
rope down from a hover, or they could deploy out of the two sliding side doors.
Well, and that's one of the things when we talk about robot wars. A lot of times we talked about like small personal sized drones, but that's scalable to this. You're saying a 12 passenger. It could be fully autonomous if they wanted it to be.
Oh, sure, yeah, and in their skunk works, they have that. It just wasn't on display here. Um, you know, Textron is really proud of the alliance that they made with Rolls Royce, because Rolls Royce has really uh, advanced in silent propeller generation. And
So are
so,
these when they're going silent, are they going electric and moving away from combustion?
no,
Wow.
they're still using combustion and combustion, combustion, and but they're using, um, and
It's got to be in
I think I can say this: they're using Toyota Lexus noise canceling technology.
that would make sense. All right, let's play some more tape. What are we looking at here?
So that's a Ford Ranger with a 50 cal on the back.
Bert.
It's a Burt, and it's up armored, and it's something that you can't get in the US. Is 502 horsepower diesel engine in it. That's what's powering it.
Damn.
It's damn. It's damn all over the place, Sean. This is So this is what the skinnies used in Mogadishu, refined by a professional, defense contractor.
Right.
Where the skinnies in Mogadishu had, a 1994 Datsun with a guy holding a M60. They've taken it to the next level and made it professional.
All right. So, all the question I have there is, so this is for modern countries that we're friendly with. Of course, the United States will have some. This won't be to just donate to third world countries
Oh,
that
no,
can't
no,
get
no. This
technology.
is not going to third world countries. This is
Right.
for us fighting in third world countries.
Right. All right. Let's move on through some more footage.
And you notice the handles.
Okay. Let's. What are we looking at here?
So
Holy
this is
crap!
the AM
Let me get to the
General.
top of this.
So this is the AM General fourth generation with a rocket launcher on the back that is so stable you don't have to put the outriggers out in order to fire the missile. The
Wow.
suspension is so stable that it will absorb that recoil.
Which is really incredible when you think about the ability to move and shoot.
So they wouldn't let me video the inside of it, but much like Mercedes Benz, there's a solid screen that goes all the way across. It's probably 28 inches wide. And the operator on the passenger side can put in the coordinates and launch from inside that ballistic capsule uh, truck.
And again, when you start to think about, and it looks silly if you go back and watch it, but if you think about the concept of the RoboCop, not the actual RoboCop, but the all the mechanized police force that were automated, right? That were AI. It was a movie at the time.
Right.
You have this where it's still at least monitored by human, but the theme that I saw from what I was reading out of this specific show, because now Pete Hegseth and we're moving forward. Donald Trump created that, but Hegseth says yes, go full born AI, but
Yeah.
give us the ability in case we want to use the ability to put a human in it.
Right.
And so these things that we're looking at and we're going to show you, we got a lot more to come through.
So this is
Could
this
be
is
turned on straight robotically.
yeah,
That's the way I read it.
yeah, and it's B4 and B5 ballistic cab.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got in the footage. All right, this one goes for a little bit. Look
Oh
at the
yeah, that's
trailer on
the
that.
new AM General Jeep replacement put out by AM General, diesel powered. It's got a short box on the back with different configurations and stuff. It's B5, no B6, uh, bullet resistant, run flat tires. It's pretty badass, and it's a little less than 500 horsepower.
Well, and it looks like there's maybe a 50 on the top right, and then an automated 50 on the
No,
turret.
that's not an automated 50. That's a laser guided.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, that's a badass piece of equipment. You get hit with that, and you're going to stay hit.
I would totally understand. Let's move forward a little bit.
And in the trailer, you see the missile launchers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
This is a different vehicle.
So this is a Can-Am with a flatbed on the back, and it's got sonar and laser uh, tracking ability. So
Oh, so this,
you ride this out on top of the sand dune. You raise up the telescope, and you can run your war from this thing.
this replaces the need for the 1970s giant radar dish in the sky looking
Yeah.
plane.
So all your autonomous vehicles would run out of this module.
Right, for an instant battle.
Yeah.
Incredible. Let's move on.
So
I'm gonna
to
let this play
me,
because there's a couple things in this video that I remember. The smaller vehicles packed inside the larger vehicle.
yeah. So this is made by a German company called Rheinmetall, and they are the General Dynamics of Europe. And so they made this cab over situation that can deploy this unmanned autonomous warfighting vehicle.
Which I'll back up to what that was, which is this right here.
Yeah. And I think I walk around it.
Let's see.
And so the spare tire and all
There it
that,
is.
so that you see the khaki colored stuff up there on the big truck,
Yep.
that's where they run this autonomous vehicle. This autonomous vehicle can also deploy drones,
You
and
can
the
see them in the
drones,
picture. Like the current frame we're on, you can see one of the drones
oh
with
yeah,
the shootout.
yeah. So that this is so freaking cool. This drone deploys, and then the drone, controls the AI vehicle, the or 8-wheel vehicle.
The drone becomes the eyes.
The drone becomes the eye,
Wow.
and your your little controller becomes inactive because the drone does it.
Right.
So you tell the drone, find the enemy and put our boy in place to go after it.
Well, and again,
And the
I want
drone does it.
we've got a lot more to show all of you. Thank you all for joining us. We got a good group on Twitter. I don't know what the numbers are on the oh, we got a pretty good group everywhere. We've got plenty more, and we've got about 27 minutes left to show you the rest of this. But Paul and I have been talking about this for a couple of years. Is that in order to keep American men and women safe, we've been moving into the robot world. And we're giving you a show of what publicly available. There's stuff that we even couldn't show you, but we're showing you everything that was from a public trade show. We're talking about stuff that's publicly available from videos from Lockheed or Boeing Defense, or we're not sharing any trade secrets, but we're sharing to you what you guys don't know is that we're moving into robot wars. Does that change the amount of men and women we need in service? No, because we have to deploy these robots. We have to recover these robots. We have to fuel these robots. We have to maintain these robots. But it does take a difference in going from trench warfare, like you see in Ukraine, to robot warfare, where robots are fighting the enemy and we don't have direct content with our human soldiers. And this is kind of what we're trying to lay out to you is some of what is happening and going on. And these are the products that are going to be implemented over the next year or two or five, probably year, with Hegseth's direction. Am I wrong on that, Paul?
No, you nailed it. Absolutely. So, for example, this 8-wheeled vehicle that launches uh, drones, and the drones control the vehicle, it has a missile launcher capacity on it. It has a bank of 4 missiles that it can launch in a battle configuration.
And so, as important as tomahawks are to today's situation with the long range that they have, old technology. When you look at this stuff, Paul, when I really look at this technology, this robotic technology, is that we don't have to be that far away. We can deploy these closer and use smaller and more effective warheads because we're not putting humans on the ground,
No,
and
100%.
we don't
No,
have to
you're
fire
100%
from
right. Yeah.
1,700 kilometers away that could be detected. Let's go
Yeah.
ahead and take a look farther into this uh, footage we have. By the way, if you want copyright to this footage, you need to get with me so that I can get permission from Paul Gant. This is his footage. If you want to use this on the news or somewhere else, you need to get my permission. So there's the vehicle that holds all the on the ground drones.
On the ground drones. Yep.
And there's simulated missile. And now you can go ahead and see the drone that it launches. Multiple each side.
Yeah. So yeah, and those are missile tubes.
Yep. I can't remember where this video goes. That
Yeah.
might be the end.
So this is different calibers of a launch system that
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
okay, that General Dynamics put together. Uh
So what? Hold on. Those are just different calibers, but those are basically accessories. You just say, "I want this," or
yeah,
this or
it's
that,
all
right?
plug and play. So what I didn't do is I didn't take pictures of the launch system. But
Okay.
all three of those displays there log into this launch system, and you can remotely launch them through an app on your phone.
Yeah. I can't say any more than I've already said about
Right?
we're in the robot war era. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, there's launch tubes.
Yep.
Now, all right, I had a question. I saw this, right? Because a lot of people drive something like this down
Yeah.
the street if they live in a rural area.
Yeah.
No doors, no nothing. But my thought was, well, it's obviously it's a four-person carrier, but why would they run it in this configuration with no doors, no shielding? And I thought to myself, I think this is a runabout that they wouldn't put into a combat zone. I could
Right.
be totally wrong.
No, that's just what we call a team mover. And the only reason I took a picture of it was because of the tires that are on it built by Michelin.
I get run flats, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, if you could zoom in on it, they're actually a web. there's
Yeah,
no air
well,
or
because the
anything.
way I have it set as a video it won't let me zoom in, but to those that like, you can pause this video if you're watching it, and you can zoom in on it.
Yeah,
And so it what he's saying is that it's not because it's a web, it's interlinked like this,
yeah.
and they don't have it's not the standard car tire where there's air or nitrogen.
No, no, it's got these zigzag, you know, they
Right.
actually offer it for my zero turn, and a lot of the commercial zero turn mowers run these things because they can absorb debris and nails and screws and stuff, and it just doesn't affect them.
I think that technology is going to hit the commercial market in the next 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I think hopefully Michelin's one of the ones that brings it, but I think that's going to change the game on tire technology. Now, will you still have tire wear on the treads? But then I
yeah.
think you'll also go to what truck drivers do on their high pressure tires, and you're going to start getting into retreading.
Right,
Again, technology changing because of a need, but also because why not make things better? And why not use some of these things that we've learned about? Let's see what else
sure.
we have in the video.
Yep. So this is a cab over 5 ton, and
Okay.
that is a missile launcher cube on the back that launches. Uh, well, actually, I can't say what it launches, but it launches missiles.
It launches those,
Yeah,
which is a modern technology, not like
right.
stuff we're talking about with Ukraine.
Yes,
Let's keep going. All right, here's a mobile command station, data station, right?
this is a data station. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep.
Man.
And you roll this up into the battlefield. You raise that mast up. You turn on your stuff. And although they have the screen set up on the vehicle, usually that screen would be in a Humvee or in a command, mobile command post. They just did that for illustration.
Well, and again, when we look at this, there's probably not going to be a human necessarily in a Humvee. It'll be somebody in an F-22 or an F-35 at
Or a
40,000
growler.
feet,
Yeah.
right? And that
Yeah.
that will be the ultimate command station over this. And the whole goal is to take American humans out of harm's way and dominate the war, whatever, or the
Right.
battle, whatever that battle is, and use these technologies to win, even if it's just we're fighting goats.
Right.
And if you don't understand what I mean when I say fighting goats,
Uh,
can you look at the war on weapons of mass destruction? Explain to me
yeah. Yeah.
who we
You're
were
right.
fighting.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Sorry, let's go. Let's go on. There's more. There's a lot more. Yeah, that's a show of the screen. That's what would be inside of whatever the command center is, whether it's on the ground or in the air.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a really cool camo that you took. Camouflage, covering. Oh no, you're showing something else first, but there's a
Oh, this is Alaska Defense. I really like this company because they're a small business and they really put out good stuff.
well, I can't remember if this is the one where it turns around and shows that it's got a manned people mover that's totally just yep, this is it, right? Like
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
that's fantastic material that people that are a
Yeah.
mile or two out that
Yep.
even if they got binocs, they're not going to see there's a vehicle under that. Really
Not for
impressive
a
stuff,
long way, dude.
right? I know we got another. I think there's another two or maybe three. All right, I want to pause right here. I want everyone to understand when we talk about U.S. military drones, yes, we're talking about the small ones that you could commercially buy off a shelf, typically used in places like Ukraine
Right.
or in Gaza, and they're very effective. But when we talk about drones, we have to talk about all size drones. You have to see the size. This like the size of it has been around for 20 years almost. The
At least.
technology is vastly improved,
Yep.
but these things are as big, or if not bigger, than a modern day fighter jet.
Yep.
And there's not a single, you can't put a human in this. This is totally autonomous at this
It's
point.
totally autonomous, and it's run by guys in a 40-foot container at Vandenberg Air Force Base, California.
Yeah. Look at how huge this is. And so when people talk about drones, you need to understand how big we can build them. We can build submarines that are drones. And here's an overview basically of the conference floor. Everyone who's ever been to a trade show will get it. Hold on, I got to get that. Stop there. That's a
Yeah.
funny. All right. Yeah, that's an Amentum drone. Hi, Amentum. By the way, if you want to hire me, Amentum, there's all kinds of cool shit I could do for you. We'll move on. That this is an overview of the floor. Anyone who's ever been to one of these trade shows, that this is what you get. But it's a really good time. You'll learn about the new technologies. Even when I was doing trade shows just in the bus world, you would go and you'd be like, "Wow, that's really pretty neat."
Right.
I wonder how we can implement that,
Yep.
right? And that's the whole point. They're like, "We're gonna bring you ideas and new technologies. You tell us if you could implement it,
Yeah.
or you tell us
Exactly right.
I
Yeah.
would implement it if it did this and this too, right?"
Yep.
And that's what these trade shows do. And I'm glad to see Hegseth is dialing it back. And I'm really sorry that whatever bagels didn't sell as much this time. I am, but I am very excited that we're moving to a place because of Pete Hegseth, and I hope the rest of the secretaries in the department or in the cabinet move this
Right.
direction, that we're cutting off that funding stream and streamlining what we need to do for government spending, whether it's the bus you ride or the weapons defense systems
Yeah.
that keep you safe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you have any other comments on the trade show?
So yeah, I think uh overall, and I went last year, and it was pretty depressing. When I went this year, it was totally um, um, uplifting. I mean, everybody was jazzed up. Our meetings were, and we met with some of the major bigs, and they were not last year. They didn't care about small business. This year, they're like, dude, you got to get registered as a vendor with us. We want to do some work with you.
Well,
And
opening
and I,
ceremony. Some
yeah,
who was it? Opening ceremony said, "Come out and figure it out. Get with the
yeah,
little guy."
Driscoll, yeah, Driscoll came out and said, "You got to figure it out because if you don't get right, you're gonna get left, son."
Which I gotta tell you, that's fantastic. And to all the minority business out there that are true minority businesses, this is good news for you as
Yeah,
opposed to bad news. The
exactly right. And
system
last
has
year
been
it was bad
abused
news.
forever. And you would have somebody, and I'm going to be just very specific, You would have somebody, a white dude, who was an engineer and a very good engineer and had a very good company, and would put his black wife's as 51% owner, who knew nothing about was a school teacher, knew nothing about the company, but that would qualify them
Oh yeah,
as
so
a
she's
minority
minority owned,
black-owned business.
women owned, small. Yeah,
Women-owned, small business,
right,
black-owned,
right.
and that's what Paul and I have seen for 20 plus years
Oh, at
is
least,
is
yeah,
is what has ruined the ability for actual minorities to be involved,
yeah,
because you've got these people being absolutely fake.
yeah,
Like, and I'm not gonna say the name of the company, but I remember I had a meeting with the CEO of my agency, and, a couple of, black activists from the city of Indianapolis, and they came in. I mentioned all the things we're doing to make sure we're keeping on top of the MBE and DBE program,
right,
and all the things, and making sure they understood that our funding was federal, not
yeah,
city,
and
which
not, yeah,
changes rules. It's always rule changes, right? And that I mentioned a specific company, and they go, "Oh, yeah, that company, the one with the black wife as a teacher and the
oh
white
yeah,
husband that does
oh,
all the
you're
work."
there.
Yeah, well, that's the people you're protecting. Like, and that was the first time I've ever been confronted by that, and I was like, "Oh, and more other. We've got other companies that we
Yeah,
do a lot."
well, yeah.
But, I mean, they saw
I mean,
through
I
it
got a
just the way
Wimpano
I saw
small
through it.
strip club. Does that count?
Right? Seriously, it's and that's again, for, everybody who went to No Kings, who wants to kill Elon and Trump, all Elon was trying to do was take out exactly what I was talking about, which
Yep.
was this fraud of the small business, administration, or the minority business
Yeah.
administration. That
Right.
does not mean I don't want minority, but I want them to get more contracts.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want them
right.
to be frauded out of contracts
Yeah.
because of big business,
Yeah.
uh,
That's what it's
and that's
all
what
about,
happened,
bro.
right?
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Alright, well, dude, we got 7 minutes. Yeah, yeah, you wanna know kings?
So I'm gonna leave it at that, bro. I
Well, here's
can't.
what I'm gonna say, Paul. What I noticed, and I literally got some on the ground photos and, a couple of videos from Dana Point, California, from a family member, from an aunt who's in her 80s, and I'm glad she went. She felt great. She thought she was doing the right thing. She felt patriotic, and I get it.
Sure.
And I haven't really responded to her on that other, and thank you for sending me this. Is when I looked around it, that was confirmation from what I was seeing in live streams and from, posts on Twitter or posts on other
Sure.
platforms, that there was,
Yeah.
other than maybe a mid 50-year-old bringing their kid with them, forcing their kid to come with them, it was all people 60 plus up. And, what I see with it, here's what everyone goes, "Ah, why are you making fun of boomers?" Is what the response is on. If your party only has boomers, 67, well, mostly 70 and 80-year-olds,
Yep.
show up to the party, show up to the rallies, you call these
Yep.
rallies, and you have no young people, your party is toast.
Toast.
Toast. Because once
100%,
you
dude.
expire from
Yeah.
Earth, nobody's going to replace you with this ideology.
Yep.
And I don't know. It's gonna take 10 or 12,
Yeah,
15
yeah,
years, but the
yeah,
Democrat Party, if that was your "This is our Democrat Party," your party's done.
yeah.
It's done. And if you say that was our biggest showing, I don't care how many people were actually there.
It doesn't
That
matter,
wasn't enough
dude.
people to outvote
Yeah,
the next MAGA vote in 2028, whether
yeah,
that's for JD or somebody else.
yeah. It doesn't matter.
It was it was exhausting. And I'm gonna be I I'm gonna say it again. The thing that struck me was no young people. Revolutions, even if they're color revolutions, is a young people's game.
Yeah,
And all you saw was grandpa and grandma.
yeah.
Their their party leadership has to, like the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, has to be looking at this and going,
Jasmine Crockett.
I
Come on.
get it, but she's a leader because she's a master at social media. It doesn't mean we have to like her. It doesn't mean her party actually likes her, but she has a massive young social media following.
Yeah,
They have to be looking at this and going, we have to eliminate all the 70 and 80-year olds
yeah.
in office. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi.
All of
Right.
them.
You could just go through the list. There's
All
so
of them.
many of them.
Yeah.
I don't see how that party survives. I don't see how the Democrat Party is still a party at all in 15 years.
I don't think it is though, Sean. It's just not going to exist anymore.
What do you think comes up? Do you think the Libertarian Party gains followers? I don't, but or do you think they finally form a new party? Call it whatever they call it whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They're going to swarm.
They will totally swarm to something, but then they
Yeah.
need a leader.
But
No, they need
AOC, come
leadership.
on, give me a break, dude. She's a freaking bartender. Abdul Hussein, Juban,
No,
Mamdani.
you're right, but why would she speak to the young people? It's in the way she runs her social media accounts, and she's got gazillions of followers of young people. I know. See, that's where you go. Boring. We're not the target audience. Not me and Gen
Oh,
X, not you and Boomer.
right.
And that's what I observed with the No Kings protest. They're not even they're not focusing on the target audience, which is the Charlie Kirk young people.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Democrats are not paying attention to that. The Republicans, especially Charlie Kirk, are.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
all right, so that's where I'm going with that. I again, Democrats, if you listen to the show, we appreciate it. Drop us a comment. Tell us we're retarded, but I want to know, where's your young people?
Yeah. Say something. Yeah.
Where's your young people?
Yeah.
You can't have
Say
a
something. Say
color
something.
revolution without young people. You can't change a party's demographic without young people. You can't change a party's policy without young people. You need to have young people, and two now. You had one in June, you had one in October, no Kings rallies. Almost zero young people.
Yeah.
Zero.
It was all, dude. I saw that man on the street stuff in Manhattan, and it was all guys and gals older than me with purple hair and gauges and a snot locker ring in their septum. I don't. Oh, I don't think
Did you notice that like so the man on the street interviews were fantastic.
they were awesome.
And they did not get upset. They just did the job. They asked the
Yeah,
question. And they would ask the question, say, well, what Trump's a dictator. We know he's not a king, he's a dictator. Okay, what has he done as a dictator? And you'd see a reset. Well, he's taking away women's rights. Okay, what right did
Okay,
he
tell
take
me
away
how
from women?
that's happening. Yeah.
And there's thousands of these man on the street interviews from the No Kings protests.
Yeah.
If you watch it, they were programmed to go protest by their TV, given
Yep.
their age, right? MSNBC, CNN, probably even
Yeah.
Fox News
All
a
of them.
little bit.
Yeah.
But they couldn't remember the programming they were taught by these channels that they watch all day long
Oh,
to
yeah.
recite the grievances
Yeah.
that they felt against what they perceive as a dictator. And so we'll
Yeah.
totally probably get into that Wednesday, Paul. Let's close this one. This was a good show. Good
Oh
demonstration
my
of
God, I had so much fun. I've been looking forward to it since Friday, bro. This is
dude,
great stuff.
you have to
Yeah.
check it out. I think the way we did it and the way we're able to roll the video and photos,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you will totally approve and repost. But let's close this one out.
All
We're
right,
at
bro.
an hour. See you later. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Love you all. Have a good night.
Hoorah!